So, now we learnt about radiation, solar radiation measurement and some useful correlations which will help us generating the detail of solar radiation given certain broad averages over long time periods, longer time period. Then what we shall be discussing here is radiation processing First, I will call it shorter. Later on, we shall go to the long term processing, and we know from the data, most data are for horizontal surfaces. Now, here in order that you appreciate why we do this radiation processing, very briefly I shall explain about a simple solar collector, so that you will understand why we do this particular part. So, you may have a fin, a tube, a fin, another tube like this with certain spacing. This is kept in a box, and the bottom of which is insulated, and there is glass cover. This is a typical water heater. This is called a tube and fin absorber. So, overall there will be some loss, which I will represent by a loss coefficient U L. So, those are familiar with heat transfer. This is called a overall heat loss coefficient, and which will have the units watts per meter square degree centigrade. And the fluid flows through these tubes. The central portion painted black over here, heat will flow towards the colder fluid side, thereby heating the fluid. In other words, if I exaggerate, there will be heat flow towards the tube, right. So, this is based upon the fact given per se, a black painted surface will absorb solar radiation more than a non-white, non-black painted absorber, and to reduce the losses we have put a insulation at the bottom and then a glass cover at the top to reduce biradiation and convection losses. Still there is a certain loss taking place at the rate of U L watts per meter square degree centigrade. We also know that a surface having a particular slope beta will receive maximum radiation if the sun's rays are normal to the surface. So, if you want to keep it, you have to keep on tracking it, but nevertheless I may choose some sort of a slope beta with may have may or may not be, this is the outer normal to the surface, sun's ray may be like this and the angle of incidence being theta. Okay. So, what I have got is a measurements on a horizontal surface with the sun's rays making an angle theta z. So, this is my I, this is my I on the tilted surface. Okay. So, we want to estimate in general on any surface given the value on the horizontal surface. This may be on the hourly time scale. So, our objective will be to find out what is the solar radiation received by a surface of given orientation, known that there is a solar radiation available measured or otherwise on a horizontal surface. So, first, since I called it shorter, I will talk about the intensity G, which will consist of G B direct part plus G D the diffuse part. Okay. Now, these are may be divided by 3600 of the solar radiation for the hourly value, or let us assume that we know the intensity. First, if I know how to do it for an instant, then we will be able to find out for this. Number of developments by Liu and Jordan again. They classified that the radiation received by the tilted surface. Now, what I have got is beta outer normal and the sun's ray making angle theta, compare, and this is G T, watts per meter square, compare it to horizontal surface making an angle theta z, where this is G equal to G B plus G D. Is it okay? So, we have a tilted surface with a slope beta, other descriptions right now are unnecessary, which we will come to it later, whose outer normal is n cap, and the sun's rays will make an angle theta in general, and the radiation falling on that is G T, no matter how to calculate that. What we have is measured information, a G intensity on the horizontal plane, which is characterized by the zenith, and the sun makes an angle theta z with respect to this. We also have the information that G comprises of G B and G D. Okay. People have expressed this G T comprises of direct radiation part plus a fraction of the diffuse radiation plus another fraction of the ground reflected radiation. So, R B is a factor that converts G B to, if I may say, G B on the tilted plane. Okay, this is purely geometric. Then G d is the diffuse part, but a fraction will be received by that, which will be called sky diffuse. And rho g ground reflectance, so this f s f fraction f this should be f g, sorry, f g rho g g is the ground reflected radiation. Now, to make you appreciate, if there is a collector with certain slope again, and then of course, I will keep on showing this. There is sun's ray with an angle theta, this is sun, and if this is the ground, sun's ray will fall on this, these two should be parallel, and which will be reflected. This is rho g. The ground reflectance makes G reflect back, some of it reflect onto the collector surface, which will give you that f g rho g into g term. Similarly, this f s associated with G d is given by 1 plus cos beta by 2, where beta is the slope. Now, if you imagine a hemisphere, here is a collector, all the diffuse radiation over the hemisphere is your G d. So, this portion will be received by the solar collector. So, you will have this factor 1 plus cos beta by 2, and if you make beta equal to 0, this 1 plus 1 by 2 equal to 1. That means, if it is a horizontal surface, it will receive in full the diffuse radiation, and again if you have a vertical surface, beta is equal to 90 degrees, making this as 1/2. So, a quadrant of that will make it receive only 1/2. So, sufficient to understand this 1 plus cos beta by 2 comes as a factor associated with the diffuse radiation, which basically is a sector proportional, assuming the diffuse radiation to be isotropic. Then f g is again 1 minus cos beta by 2. You should review radiative heat transfer, where the view factors are given. So, you can see if there are two surfaces with a angular orientation, the ground reflected radiation will be 1 minus cos beta by 2 factor. Again, if you put beta equal to 0, it will be 0. In other words, a horizontal surface will not receive any reflected radiation from ground also being horizontal. And this rho g varies typically 0.2 for a ground, and it could be as high as 0.7 for snow covered. Of course, you may wonder if snow cover is there, the solar radiation will be low, whether your solar collectors will be operating or not. Now, this R b is the instantaneous tilt factor, that is what we try to find out. So, I can write R b as G b on the tilted plane by G b on the horizontal plane. And we have already talked about F s and F g, or the factors associated with the sky diffuse and ground reflected factors, which are given by 1 plus cos beta by 2 and 1 minus cos beta by 2. Now, this figure I shall make it a little bigger. If you have the horizontal surface and the outer normal, and this is the sun's ray, and it has got the angle theta z, and simultaneously you have the tilted surface beta, outer normal, and the sun ray, and this makes an angle theta. So, we can say G b So, what I shall do is, if I draw a plane perpendicular to the sun's ray, this is G b n, right, according to our notion. G O n was the corresponding extraterrestrial value. Now, I will call it G b n, the terrestrial value of the direct radiation normal to the sun's ray. That also will be G b n. The reason being, this is the plane normal to the sun's ray, whether there is a tilted surface or a horizontal surface is no consequence. So, the horizontal radiation G b will be either G b normal into cos theta z, here projection of this, or G b normal into cos theta, which will be G b t. Okay. So, now R b is by definition G b t by G b equal to cos theta z. Okay. So, now we have got this expression for R b, and you can recall your cos theta expressions and cos theta z expressions, and I can remember easily for a south facing surface. That is, your surface azimuthal angle is gamma 0. So, now my R b can be written as easy way of remembering is This is cos theta z, which will not depend upon gamma. This is cos theta for gamma equal to 0. So, if you put a beta equal to 0, you will get this result. So, this is R B for a south facing surface. Now, what I shall do is, if I define a overall R factor which is G B T let me put it this way. G T. Total tilted radiation will be your G into R, then that will be equal to G T. So, now I can define a overall R factor as the same thing I have written. If we multiply throughout with G, G into R will be your G T, and hence this is written in a particular fashion. Now, you will find that everywhere I have got a G B by G, G D by G, of course, this G gets cancelled. This can be again written as G minus G D by G times R B plus G D by G times 1 plus cos beta by 2 plus rho G 1 minus cos beta by 2. This is 1 minus plus rho G Now, what I am finding out is that this is a ratio of only G D by G. Now, you realize why we spend some time in generating the correlations for I D by I. Though I D and I are separately required, but if given I, everything we try to write in terms of a diffuse fraction ratio, which we know can be calculated knowing I. Now, I shall make an approximation for the hour the corresponding value will be I t, right. Instead of G t, it will be I t. Calculate R B at midpoint of the hour, that is say for 10 to 11 use omega is equal to how much it will be. This is minus 15 minus 30. Correct, and calculate your R B which in general simply cos theta by cos theta z at this omega given by omega 1 plus omega 2 by 2. All right. So, if I straight away extend the result that we have written for the instantaneous values, my factor R will be 1 minus I d by I times R b plus I d by I 1 plus cos beta by 2 plus rho g 1 minus cos beta by 2. So, now we got everything in terms of I d by I. So, you can easily write for we have this general expression a plus b cos omega plus c sin omega, where a, b, c are defined. So, fortunately, these factors f s and f g do not depend on gamma or phi or omega or even delta. So, I can in general have so, this is the general expression for cos theta and this is the expression for cos theta z. So, now we have a method of calculating R b in general. So, if we summarize, solar radiation on a tilted surface comprises of beam, sky diffuse and ground reflected components, and it is assumed that this sky diffuse radiation is isotropic and the tilted surface receives a portion of the sky diffuse and the ground reflected radiations. And though the R b factor is strictly to be applicable to be calculated for an instance without significant or almost 0 loss of accuracy, you can calculate at the midpoint of the hour. Now, so this is short term processing. We will have a little bit of introduction for what is long term. So, for an hour we are able to calculate omega 1 plus omega 2 by 2. What about a day? Can I calculate the midpoint of the day, which is the solar noon, which is omega is equal to 0? Answer is obviously a big no, because it will have the, if it is a south facing surface, you will have the perhaps best orientation at the noon time and hence R B calculated omega is equal to 0 cannot be representative of the entire day. But how do I define if I want to have a daily R B for the day? Okay. So, let us call it R B bar like we have been doing it. So, this R B bar should be equal to summation of I B R B summation of I B from again categorically from sunrise to sunset, sunrise to sunset, right. Little later we will find out these are not the physical sunrise and sunset, but these should be some SR dashed and SS dashed, which apparently the surface sees during the day, right. But nevertheless, if you properly calculate it, even if I categorically say from sunrise to sunset and ignore a negative R B etcetera, you will still get a correct value. So, if I am asked to find out R B bar, or in general this leads to H B T should be equal to R B bar H B. So, if I have the daily beam radiation on a horizontal surface, I will be able to calculate the daily direct radiation on the tilted surface by this factor R B bar into H B. So, this is R B bar is a weighted average. Assuming I can transfer just to be mathematically consistent, right. Either I sum up hour by hour or I calculate for categorical reasons as G B R B d t in terms of an integral. But this calls for data. One, two, about 12 calculations a day at 1 per hour. Okay. All the days may not exactly have 12 hours, but about that on a yearly basis this average is okay. So, this is a cumbersome process, and if you want to calculate for the month, you need to calculate for 12 into 30 days. For the year, it will be even more, multiplied by 365. So, how to solve this problem? What people have suggested is the data calls for the numbers and a numerical integration, but if you approximately calculate under extraterrestrial conditions, What are my justifications? Justifications are G 0 and G B occur at same theta. The angle of incidence of the extraterrestrial radiation on a horizontal plane and the instantaneous G B at a instant will have the same theta. What differs is G 0 numerically differs from G B. Okay? So, this is an approximate symbol based upon this. Then second sort of justification is G 0 is used in both numerator and denominator. So, if there is an error in the numerator, there is some error in the denominator also, though not exactly the same. Consequently, some error is likely to get cancelled. So, this appears to be a good approximation. So, converting into in terms of omega, the hour angle, bar approximately. So, I will now call it omega S r to omega S s, and this G 0 will be cos theta times cos theta z press. So, this is the normal radiation multiplied by cos theta z, which will be the nothing but G 0, which is the same G 0 over here, and my R B is categorically cos theta upon cos theta z. I am now distinguishing the tilted surface may not see the radiation all the time as the physical sun sees the horizontal surface or above the horizon. Okay. So, let me rewrite it. At the moment, do not bother about this omega S r and omega S s, except physically accept that any tilted surface or arbitrarily oriented surface, we shall not see the sun all the time that the sun is above the horizon. So, this simplifies to, you can write G S C into 1 plus 0.033 cos 360 n by 365, and this cos theta z gets cancelled with this cos theta z, and this also cancels with this. So, my R B bar is approximately equal to integral omega s r to omega s s of cos theta d omega by minus omega s to plus omega s cos theta z d omega, right. So, R b bar is not very complicated. So, surprisingly it looks like that you are integrating numerator of R b and the denominator of R b separately, that is integral cos theta by integral cos theta z to get R b bar, though that is not a mathematically correct argument, and it so turned out that cos theta z term gets cancelled and hence you will have this result. And this R b bar fairly accurate against R b bar with data. In other words, you compute this with sigma I b R b by sigma I b. This will be within 3 to 5%, and this is more accurate gamma is equal to 0. So, can we find any reason why this works well? Now, many people have made calculations, we also made calculations. We found this R b bar obtained so called extraterrestrial conditions, basically G b being equated to G 0, right. That means calculate under E t. Now, I shall use this short form for extraterrestrial condition. Now, you may think of why. We can put forth one argument. Again, if we do not bother too much about the rate and the intensity or the hourly value, basically it is I b R b d t by I b d t. Limits are unimportant for the argument that is going to follow. So, this is I minus I d R b d t d t. Okay. So, I am trying to assume that I have got an analytically representable function or discretized function or some correlation for I, and I write it in this particular fashion. So, this is exact under terrestrial conditions. Now, we this once again so, what all I have done is the terrestrial radiation is nothing but clearness index multiplied by the extraterrestrial radiation. This everything else is terrestrial still. So, now uniform and we realize is some function of clearness index, because all I d by I correlations and H d by H correlations are just functions of k t mainly. If that is so, my R b bar will be simply you have I 0 R b d t by I 0 d t. That means E t calculation. You can okay. Again I can make it the intensity and bring back my old theory. Now, what did we achieve by showing this? What we achieved was, what we realized is, if the clearness index has been 1, we know that extraterrestrial and terrestrial radiation will be the same, there will be no diffuse radiation. By this we proved if k t small k t is uniform, that means not necessarily equal to unity, we get R b bar evaluated E t accurate enough for terrestrial calculation also. What really in simple English means is, you need not have atmospheric transmittance unity, but you need to have uniform atmospheric transmittance. That means, if you have a uniformly cloudy or uniformly bright day, your extraterrestrial calculation will be very close to the terrestrial calculation. And there are little favorable things. If you think little more, 80% of the radiation will be about 5 to 6 hours mid part of the day, 10 to 4 for example. That is when your RB factors will be high. That is also when your clearness index is likely to be more or less uniform. So, the weightage because of non-uniformity occurring at a lower radiation values will be small, thereby making RB bar calculated under extraterrestrial conditions with an analytical expression will be fairly close to your values that you would have obtained using the data. Of course, there are deviations when the surface is not due south under certain extreme conditions, but most of the time the extraterrestrial approximate calculation is acceptable. So, RB bar is simple So, before we proceed to examine this, in fact, even RB bar this can be for a day, then a monthly average day, and it could be south facing or non south facing. So, we shall try to evaluate the so called omega SR and omega SS are needed. Okay. So, we have a method of calculating the tilted radiation for a hour, we have it for a day, which works well, and we will examine how it performs for the monthly average day and how we estimate the so called apparent sunrise and sunset hour angles for the tilted surface. Thank you.